Hello everyone and welcome back to Neptune's Child Tarot. Thank you all so much for being here, for your continued love and support here on the channel. So today's pick a card reading, we are going to be doing what you need to know right now. And I am going to be using the Divine Initiation Oracle for our messages today. But again, the question is what you need to know right now. For group number 1, you are going to be this flower agate. For group 2, you're going to be bloodstone. And then for group number 3, we do have opalite. Okay, if you already feel drawn to one of the crystals, you can skip right ahead to the timestamp. It'll take you directly to your reading. But if you do need a little bit of extra help, we are going to be adding in one of these cards to help you with choosing to see what this is about, what Spirit wants you to know right now. If you do feel drawn to more than one of the groups, that is certainly okay for today's reading. Go with whatever you feel you resonate with the most. So group 1, what do you need to know right now? Group 1, what do you need to know right now? Group 2 with the bloodstone. And group number 3 with the opalite. Okay, so let's see what this is about. Group 1, we have spiritual rejuvenation, card number 28, and that is with the flower agate. So spiritual rejuvenation. Group number 2 with the bloodstone, we have karmic clearing. Card number 13, and that is with the bloodstone. Group 3. We have Sacred Surrender, card number 14, and that is with the Opalite. Okay, so those are the options for today. What you need to know right now. For group 1, we've got Spiritual Rejuvenation with the Flower Agate. Group number 2, we have Karmic Clearing with the Bloodstone. And then group number 3, we have Sacred Surrender with the Opalite. Pause the video if you need a little bit more time, and I will see you at your reading. Hi, group 1. So those of you that resonate with card number 28, Spiritual Rejuvenation, we are going to start off with the message in this book here, because it does give a lot of good information for this deck. So let's see, number 28. It says, as glistening warm waters and calming waves cleanse your aura, you are being brought back into a natural flow state. Know that you are always held and supported afloat, as the sounds of the sea and motions of the waves ground you back into the present moment. When the body is overburdened by the troubles of the mind, we are called to allocate time for self-care and relaxation in order to renew ourselves spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. If you feel as though you have been accommodating others and putting their needs before your own, now is the time to detach from the external world and align yourself back to your values. Some may find this to be a challenging task, but it is important to understand that our energy is a precious resource that must not be given away so freely, as neglecting ourselves in this way can be at the expense of our own health and well-being. Part of our spiritual journey is to learn how to give ourselves the love we deserve. Once you begin to cultivate self-practices that rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul, the relationship you have with yourself will change for the better. Remember, it is not selfish to put your own needs first. It is an act of honor and self-respect. The more love you give to yourself, the more love you will have to share with others. So those of you that like to journal, the journal prompts say, how can I make more time for self-care? And in what ways can I rejuvenate myself? And those of you that like to work with crystals, we've got amethyst, celestite, blue lace agate, and ocean jasper. Okay, so your message is about spiritual rejuvenation, needing to do some self-care is what Spirit's saying. You need to know. You need to know right now. Some self-care is in order. Let's see. What does group 1 need to know, right now? What does group 1 need to know right now? We have the Queen of Swords. We have the Lovers. The Knight of Wands. We have the Queen of Wands and also the Queen of Pentacles. Wands, Pentacles, Swords. The only thing we're missing is the Cups, the Queen of Cups. So what do you need to know right now? The Ten of Pentacles. The Five of Wands. The Ten of Wands. Yeah, that is some of you dealing with burnout, dealing with feeling overwhelmed, stressed out, maybe taking on a lot of responsibilities. And I feel like Spirit's saying that needs to change. What can we release? What can we let go of? A lot of your energy may have also been focused a lot on maybe family stuff, relationship stuff, career, finances. And it can certainly, right, dealing with all of those things, you know, in our life can throw us out of alignment, can throw us off balance. The Lovers being here, we get the Ace of Pentacles. With the Lovers being here, it is a card of harmony and balance. The Four of Pentacles. So yeah, I feel like many of you may have been putting a lot of focus on material world things, which is our 3D life, you know? And when we're doing that, oftentimes we can neglect our spiritual self and feel really overloaded, overwhelmed. We've got the Six of Swords here. And we have the Eight of Swords. Yep. So this card was also talking about the mind, you know. Ace of Cups is at the bottom, which is also a card about taking time to fill your own cup. It's also a card about self-love, healing, emotional release. It can be about, you know, creativity and passions as well, with letting that energy flow. But if we're kind of like really serious, focused on lots of, you know, trying to figure this out and that out and, you know, nurturing, not that you shouldn't do these things and that we shouldn't pay attention to our 3D life. But this card is also talking about us putting those, you know, all of that stuff before self. And that can leave us feeling really drained, really tired, really exhausted. And so when we're feeling stressed out and overwhelmed, you know, it can make us also feel anxious. It can also cause us to feel irritable, or just like we need rest, like we need a break. And so with the Six of Swords energy here, this is about moving towards more peaceful, calm energy, maybe even like the state of the mind that we're in. So we're able to feel refreshed, we're able to feel renewed, we're able to feel charged up, our energy replenished, so that we can, when we're ready to kind of come back to, you know, busy 3D life, that we're able to give it the energy that it needs, but without neglecting the self. So I certainly feel like this is where Spirit is saying that we need to find the balance there. Okay. Especially for those of you that have been working, you know, really hard or long hours, or even dealing with, because the Five of Wands can also talk about conflict and, you know, fighting or arguing and things like that, that could even be going on with family and feeling, you know, upset, dealing with that kind of stuff, and, you know, not making us feel very good. So that's where I feel like Spirit is, you know, wanting you to pay close attention to how you're feeling today. A little bit of a check-in with self. And those of you that are fortunate enough to live, you know, near an ocean or a river, a lake, or any other place that is peaceful and maybe getting a little bit of sun, spending time outdoors, you know, out in nature, really can be something that is very rejuvenating. Also, if you have a bathtub, taking like a salt bath, you can buy Epsom salt and put that into your bath. If you don't have a bathtub, if you only have like a shower, what I've done in the past with places that I've lived that only had showers is I would put, you can put fresh eucalyptus in the shower. This is also eucalyptus here too. You can put eucalyptus hanging in the shower. So the steam kind of helps with that to bring out the kind of like aromatherapy. You can also sprinkle the Epsom salt in the shower. I usually do it at the front of the shower. It's kind of like behind the water. I usually put it back there so that I don't slip or anything like that. We can put it back there where the smell of it just kind of still comes out. Because some of the Epsom salts you find, I think from the ones I've seen, they are eucalyptus. But I know they have other ones like lavender and things like that where you can do that as well. Okay, where that could be kind of restorative in that way, where you're setting the intention. Even if you don't have that and all you've got is just the shower, you can set the intention that water is clearing, right, your aura, which it does. Submerging yourself in the water also helps to clear your aura. That's why with a body of water, lake, river, ocean, or if you've got a bathtub, you know, you can make a nice bath for yourself and kind of dunk yourself inside the water, and then when you come back out, it's actually helping to clear your aura in that way as well. But yes, rest is what Spirit is saying here. Okay. So let's see. What other messages? Yeah, and I'll kind of give you a little bit of a fresh start here. You feel more clear, more focused. Anything else for group number 1? We have eliminate doubt, let go of the old limiting beliefs that used to hold you back. Keep going. You will overcome this. And we have let it go. So again, somebody might have something we're holding on to here. And at the bottom of the deck, I'm seeing express your feelings more openly. Unexpressed emotions and expectations will only lead to frustration. Okay? Sometimes we expect people, right, to do certain things or to think like we do, to read our minds, right? And that doesn't always happen. And we end up feeling hurt or, like this is saying, frustrated because, you know, it didn't work out the way we wanted it to, or that person wasn't thinking the same way we were. So it is a need for you to express. And I think with that Ace of Cups there too, it's a lot of purging, a lot of releasing. Okay, some of you could be holding on to stuff we need to let go of. Okay, all right, so I'm going to leave this here for you, group number 1. I do hope this reading was helpful for you all, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, group 2. So those of you that resonated with the karmic clearing card with the Bloodstone, this is going to be your reading today. So before we get into pulling your tarot, we are going to read from the book. This book has some really good information here. So we're going to see what this is about karmic clearing with what you need to know right now. So number 13. Okay, so it says karma, the Sanskrit term which means action or doing, is the cycle of cause and effect. The Buddhists refer to karma as action driven by intention, albeit positive or negative, will ultimately lead to future consequences. Many souls come into this world with specific goals or missions. However, they do not always achieve what they set out to accomplish due to karmic connections that leave them stuck in situations that perpetuate the same circumstances. These karmic connections can exist in the form of ancestral karma, soul contracts, karma through environments, as well as personal or past life karmic debt that has been carried through to this lifetime. Often we may find ourselves repeating certain cycles, whether that is in our romantic relationships, family ties, and commitments, work environments, financial struggles, or repeating lessons. Humanity is also subject to mass societal programming and conditioning, which has been passed down through generations. This level of programming can lead us towards self-destructive behaviors, limiting beliefs, addictions, poverty, negative thoughts, lack of self-esteem, codependency, and unhealthy attachments. These repetitive cycles can prevent us from moving forward and often leave us feeling frustrated, deflated, and unmotivated. If you have been experiencing a time of difficulty or you have been struggling to break free from repetitive patterns, then the Karmic Clearing Oracle comes to you with radical healing and transformative change. This is your call to clear any conscious or unconscious karmic blocks so you may liberate yourself from these cycles. Karmic clearing will set you free and allow your path of ascension to unfold in the most profound ways. As you learn to transmute unwanted karma, you will begin to cultivate a deeper sense of self-love and self-reverence. Once this transformational shift takes place, you will no longer entertain or be drawn to that which is not in alignment with your highest good. Trust that you are strong enough and courageous enough to break the cycle. Stay true to your healing journey and know in your heart that everything you have gone through has taken place for a greater purpose. Okay? We do have a little karmic clearing ritual for those of you that are interested. So I'm just going to hold this up for those of you that might want to take a little screenshot and come back to it later. Okay. All right, so let's pull the tarot for what you need to know right now. Group 2. We have the Lovers. The Eight of Swords. The Eight of Wands. The High Priestess. The Five of Pentacles. We have the Tower and the King of Wands. The Three of Swords. The Star. Okay, so I'm getting, some of you might be dealing with breakup, healing from a breakup. And you may be having, I want to say, difficulty with detachment. Okay, there might be a lot of obsessing over this person, perhaps even surrounding reconciling with them in some type of separation. We've got the World here. And the Two of Cups. Yeah, so this is about a relationship here. Like I said, some of you could be in separation with this person. You've had, maybe have had a breakup. Maybe have gone through recent divorce. And right now, I feel like Spirit's saying you're still feeling a lot from whatever this might be in your life. And I do feel like your intuition is trying to guide you towards healing and detachment, to help you, I feel like, to move on, to move forward, okay? Which is going to help you to bring yourself back into a state of balance through that healing. Because the Tower energy is here. The Tower is about releasing. It's about letting go. Things that we're kind of holding on to here. Yeah, some of you could be like waiting for communication from the person, or, you know, maybe trying to reconcile with them. And it could be that there is some kind of, feels like some of you could even have been dealing with being ghosted, abandoned, rejected. I am seeing the Death card as well at the bottom. And the Death card is about endings. It can also talk about change and transformation. And so I feel like I want to clarify this High Priestess here. We have the Queen of Swords, Temperance, and the Moon. Yeah. So I feel like this is helping you to work towards transmuting energy here, working towards healing. You know, there might be a lot of suppressed feelings and emotions that need to be seen, need to kind of come to the surface. So I also feel like at this time where Spirit's asking you to really kind of observe your thoughts, your state of mind, your emotional state of being, to make yourself a priority right now, okay? And certainly allowing yourself time for healing, okay, is definitely a message that's kind of coming through here. We have the devil energy here and the 9 of Swords with the 3 of Pentacles. So some of you are, this feels like a very specific reading here. And this is for those of you that have been doing a lot of maybe obsessing about this person or this situation, a lot of fantasizing about reconciliation, and it's bringing up a lot of anxiety because it looks like there's an attachment here that you have to this person. Some of you could have been also dealing with a person who was very toxic, a person who may have also lied, who's been deceptive, who may have manipulated you. And some of you might have some unhealthy patterns of behavior that have been developed as a result of this experience that you've had with this person, or even something that has happened after the fact of a divorce, a breakup, a separation, being ghosted, all the kind of the energies that you're dealing with after the fact, that is having an effect on you in a way mentally and emotionally. And this is what Spirit is trying to bring your attention to at this time, to help you to restore balance within your side of yourself. Okay? Because of course, us working through and processing this pain or whatever it is that we're dealing with, pain can be a great teacher for us in a way that we are learning from the experience, and we're taking time to understand our own emotions about, what we've experienced. And we can certainly gather a lot of knowledge from that. We may learn that we need to set better boundaries. We may learn that we have to start putting ourselves first. We may learn that we have to stop overgiving, or that we need to use more discernment, with who we choose to allow into our life. We can also observe our own unhealthy patterns of behaviors or habits, so that we can start to work on changing them and transforming them. Okay, so let's pull some oracle here. Group number 2. We have laugh. Life is meant to be more fun. Don't take this too seriously. We also have balance. Make sure you are receiving as much as you are giving. We also have communicate. Speak your truth with confidence and let your voice be heard. And then we have embrace the storm. As you face your deepest wounds and darkest emotions. Okay. At the bottom of the deck, I'm also seeing remain flexible and do not be attached to a single fixed outcome. There are alternative possibilities about to come into play. Okay, so that may certainly be confirmation for some of you looking for more clarity. And also, with the laugh here, I know that sometimes there are certain things in our life that we go through that are very painful, and we might not feel during that time like laughing very much. We might start to feel really sad or angry or, even a little bit depressed. And so it can be hard for us to shake ourselves out of that emotion, So that's where it's important for you to allow yourself to process your feelings, and to also surround yourself with people who are positive, who are supportive, who help to uplift you. Understand that whatever it is that we're going through is temporary, right? The emotions that we feel are temporary, and you will be able to overcome them, where we can restore joy in our life. And I know sometimes it doesn't feel like it when we're going through something where we're just like, wow, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. This feels horrible. But yeah, I feel like Spirit's really encouraging you to, like I said, bring yourself back into a state of alignment, of balance, and restore your own peace of mind and, you know, getting the clarity, being able to maybe even get closure for yourself so that you're able to release and to let go. Okay? All right, so I'm going to leave this here for you. Group number 2, I do hope this reading was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, group 3. So those of you that resonated with the Opalite and the card Sacred Surrender, which is card number 14. We're going to start off with the message with this card first to see what it is that Spirit wants you to know right now. And this is from the Divine Initiation Oracle. So we've got card number 14. Okay, so it says, when faced with life's uncertainties, we can often feel overwhelmed and helpless. Our minds can race through countless scenarios of what could happen next. Life is not without change and uncertainty, and in order to truly master the self, we must be willing to practice the art of sacred surrender. Trusting in the power of the unknown is to make a conscious choice to be open-minded and open-hearted, to be willing to accept what the future holds with open arms, relinquishing the need to be in control and learning to accept uncertainty can be a difficult choice to make, as it can feel like giving up. But surrendering to the to the cycles of life can be incredibly powerful and freeing experience. When we are free of burden of trying to figure out what will happen next, we can fully embrace the present moment, trusting that the universe will take care of us regardless of the outcome. We can connect with the idea that even though the future is uncertain, it is also full of infinite possibilities and potential. Embrace the season of change without resistance and allow nature to take its course. Surrender to a higher power as this divine transformation takes place. And then we have this little initiation for those of you that like to do little rituals. I'm going to leave this open in case you want to screenshot that and come back to that later. Okay. All right, so let's get into pulling your tarot. I'm sorry, you guys might hear my stomach growling. I need to go eat breakfast. Let's see. What does group number 1 need to know right now about sacred surrender? I feel like the Lovers card has come out with every single group today. The Lovers is the first one out. We have the Two of Pentacles. The Tower. Okay. Some of you, I don't think this is all of you, but some of you that chose this group might be in a situation with the person that you're romantically interested in who's been inconsistent, who's been off and on, hot and cold, and the Tower energy being present is, again, we're talking about release here and surrender. Okay? The Tower can also be about the breakdown of a false reality. So if you maybe have the vision in your mind that this person is going to be someone who is able to give to you consistency, stability, security, we may need to let go of that picture. Okay? The Tower breaks down the illusion that maybe we have something solid or stable. The Tower is unstable. Okay? The Tower comes in as divine intervention to even help us to release something or someone, or let them, let someone go. Some of you could also be making some kind of choice here. Let's see where this is going. We have the 9 of Wands. Page of Wands. The 5 of Cups. Ten of Wands. The World. The 7 of Wands. 10 of Pentacles. Eight of Swords. And the 4 of Cups. Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like some of this feels very specific to like a love situation. So if that's not your situation, this might not be your reading. Okay, you might need to choose another group. This feels like we're trying to hold on to a person who's emotionally unavailable, a person who's not really stepping up and taking the lead or the initiative here to lead this into a committed partnership. And you could be holding on to the potential of what this person could be. Maybe the person they were at the beginning of the connection and wanting to kind of go back to that. But I feel like it's important for you to look at what the person, who they are right now. Okay. The energy that they have right now. And there might be a lot of obsessing for some of you, a lot of obsessing over long-term commitment relationship with this person. And I feel like Spirit's saying we need to let go, okay, of that attachment to that outcome with that person. I feel like Spirit is kind of wanting you to shift your focus into a different direction, because this person, for some of you, this person is a distraction. This person could be distracting you from the person that you're truly meant to be with. Okay. What is this Tower energy here? The Knight of Pentacles. We have the Devil. And the Nine of Swords. Yeah, it feels like there could be a little bit of an unhealthy attachment that someone may have to the other person. Some of you, it could be that, I don't think it's all of you, but some of you could be dealing with a person who's manipulative, okay? Or your own emotions can be something that also manipulate you into that attachment to that person. Again, it looks like we're kind of holding on to the potential of something and maybe distracted from who this person is right now. Okay. And this is where Spirit is wanting you to kind of shift your focus away, because this person could be, you know, consuming a lot of your thoughts, your emotions. And so this is where Spirit is asking for the need to surrender to the situation, knowing that we can't force it, we can't control it. So that's what I'm seeing here, okay? Okay, let's see what else. Anything else for group number 3? We have bounce back stronger and know that nothing can take you down. We have magic, expect the unexpected, and be prepared for miracles. How will you leave your mark on the world? Think of all the ways your life matters. Acts of love and kindness will live on forever. Okay, so we can certainly be shifting the focus and the attention elsewhere. We also have laugh. Life is meant to be more fun. Don't take this too seriously. Okay, I'm also seeing at the bottom here, you are one decision away from changing your life. Okay, for those of you that might be letting fears kind of take over, take control. And again, this is asking or saying about the, you know, what if this or what happens next and things of that nature, and letting fear even control those decisions. When we can surrender, right, to the flow of the way that things are kind of going, we'll be more open to receiving information from spirit that comes through as guidance. Okay? But if we're shifting a lot of that focus towards fear-based thinking, then we might not necessarily, what did I want to say with that? If we let the fears continue to distract us, right, away from certain things, then we might miss out on those opportunities that, you know, are there when we just kind of let go, when we let things unfold, you know, where we can start to see potential, kind of things kind of taking shape. And I feel like that's more so unrelated to the first situation that I was talking about. This is more so for you. Okay. All right, so I'm going to leave this here for you, group number 3. I do hope this reading was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next one.